That's great. Okay, all right, just gonna have everybody face over here. Stay outside the green box. We'll just sit right there. Okay, you're gonna start next row. Stay outside of the green box. Yep, it's right there. One more two. Okay, start the next row. You can be right here. Okay, welcome. We are so happy to have you. My name is Mrs. Davis, and I love American history. Really thrilled that you have come to watch this great production, this play for my class. They've worked really hard, and if you ask any of them, I'm pretty sure they'd all say they love American history too. So what I would like from you is crisscross applesauce and voices off during this. When it's time to laugh or applaud, that's what you should do. Okay? They're so excited. You are our very first audience, and we couldn't be happier to have anyone but you guys. So let's get going. Remember, enjoy, and this is the 13 colonies.
Hello, my name is George Washington. And I'm Martha Washington. George and I are here to tell you the marvelous story of how our country began. It's a story filled with excitement and drama, dreams of gold, the clash of nations, and best of all, we get to play the starring roles. Oh, George, I never get tired of this. The bright lights, the photographers, it just makes me want to salute something.
I, Lee Erickson, claim this land for me and all the Vikings.
Yeah!
Excuse me, we're starting a show here?
I know. I visited America nearly 1,000 years ago. I want some credit for being part of the 13 colonies. I was here first.
Us too!
No, you weren't.
We weren't?
Not at all. Native Americans were here hundreds of years before you arrived. Isn't that right, George?
Oh, sorry. Come on, man. Back to Minnesota.
In fact, let's take a visit to the eastern seaboard in the 16th century and see what's going on with the local tribes.
Those Vikings think they're the best.
I know, right?
They're so obnoxious. Here comes some Iroquois, and George, they don't look happy.
We've lived on this land for hundreds of years. no place that we haven't been. But something is new, the neighborhood's changed. The Europeans are moving in. They have rolled their ships, they back in their vans. They're putting our lives in a spin. We give them support, they give us the mumps. The Europeans are moving in. The Isle of Manhattan we sold to the Dutch, and people say it was a steal. But have you all seen what they've done to the place? We got us a heck of a deal. They're shaking our hands and taking our lands. Our patience is now wearing thin. You never can tell, but it doesn't bode well. The Europeans are moving in. The Spanish are searching the south for some gold. We don't think that they're gonna stop. The French in the north want the timber and furs. The New World's a great place to shop. We've lived on this land for hundreds of years. There's no place that we haven't been. But something is new, the neighborhood's changed. The Europeans are moving in. The Europeans are moving in and in and in and in.
Let's move south to Florida to get a closer look at some of those new European explorers. I see a Seminole coming our way. Isn't it exciting?
Programs, get your programs here. Charts of hidden treasures, guides to the Everglades, right here. Directions to cities built of gold, map to the houses of stars. Programs, get your programs.
Hey you! Wait! I am Ponce de Leon, famous Spanish explorer.
Welcome. Want to buy a map to a city paved with diamonds and rubies?
Hey, I want that. Don't forget to do it. Do you think I am some dumb tourist? Get real. Though, I was wondering, you don't happen to have any maps to the Fountain of Youth, do you?
Those are very hard to come by. Let me look. Ah, you're in luck. I have one left.
You do? I'll take it.
That'll be a pound of gold.
That's a ripoff for a fake map.
Well, don't just stand there, pay the lady.
Oh, lousy petticoat.
Ah, at last. This has been a very long and difficult journey.
Tell me about it.
Some people want adventure, while others look for gold. But me, I want some water to make me young once more. I drink from every fountain, though I don't have a thirst. And every stream and river
John Smith, Pocahontas. You know the story. You've seen the movie. You bought the product tie-ins. Life was tough on the first pioneers as they pushed out on the frontiers. Let's get up close and personal with a young boy and girl. Welcome, pioneer boy and girl. Tell me, what's your life like?
Out of bed, but I'm still asleep. Cut potatoes to feed the sheep. Got no shoes, but I'm out the door. Bringing wood, but I'm gone once more. Sunrise to sunset, gotta work all day. Sunrise to sunset, not much time for play.
Lots to do, there's no time for school. Picking berries and spinning wool. Feed the hens and learn how to sew. Weed the garden so our veggies grow.
Sunrise to sunset, gotta work all day. Sunrise to sunset, not much time for play. Gone all day as I tend the herds. I just talk to the trees and birds.
Help my mom to make all the bread. Evening comes and the ground's our bed.
Sunrise to sunset, gotta work all day. Sunrise to sunset, not much time for play.
Welcome to Name That Colony, the quiz show that tests your knowledge of colonial trivia. Time for our theme song from the Name That Colony singers. How did they go?
The colonies of Hampshire, York, and Jersey are quite new. We're all aware that Delaware is something special too. Maryland's the very land I never leave behind. Connecticut is cool and Georgia's always on my mind. Jamestown, Virginia is where it all began. The Carolinas, so warm we got a tan. Rhode Island now is mine and it's so tiny and so cute. Pennsylvania's perfect, Massachusetts is a beaut. These 13 colonies are only for pioneers that will need another one for several hundred years.
Tonight's contestant is Betsy Smith. Ready, Betsy? Here we go. The 13th colony was established in 1732. Which one was it? Idaho. No, I'm sorry, but Idaho was not one of the original colonies. The name of the 13th colony established in 1732 is Georgia.
I really like potatoes.
I'm sure you do, but you only have 2 questions left, so try to concentrate. The first colony to create religious toleration is
Idaho!
No, Betsy! Idaho is not one of the 13 colonies. Are you sure you understand the premise of our game? Name that colony. Get it? Think of some place near the East Coast.
Can't go wrong with a good Idaho potato. You can mash them or bake them, smear with a little chocolate, whipped cream in.
Thank you, Betsy. The correct answer to our question, the first colony to create religious toleration is Maryland. Okay, time for our last question. I'd really like to see you get this one. Okay? Okay, ready, Betsy? Name the colony founded as a refuge for Quakers led by William Penn in Philadelphia, chartered in 1682 between New York and Maryland. And Betsy, it's not Idaho. Got the answer?
Idaho!
Forget it. Start the music. Start the music.
The colonies of Hampshire, York, and Jersey are quite new. We're all aware that Delaware is something special too. Maryland's the very land I never leave behind.
Benjamin Franklin is, perhaps.
Hold it, right there.
Who are you?
We're the history police.
The History Police? I don't believe I'm familiar with your organization.
That's right, ma'am. History. We're here to make sure that you don't mess around with history.
We enforce the facts of history, and we just clocked the two of you going pretty fast there a minute ago. Pretty fast! 150 years of American history in 5 minutes! Way over the speed limit.
You flew right past the development of the 13 colonies. 1 minute, we're on the frontier. The next, you've got all 13 firmly established.
We only have 25 minutes to get through
And
that.
now you're suddenly introducing Benjamin Franklin. Have you no respect for the flow of history?
Look, I'm sorry, but
But we like you, so we're gonna let you go with a warning this time.
This time, but you better slow down and explain to your audience what's going on. We won't go so easy on you next time.
I said no, I do. Whatever. Oh, here he comes now. Ben Franklin, can you stop for a minute?
A penny saved is a penny earned.
Sure, Ben, but that was unreal.
Lost time is never found again.
Ben, can you just stop for a minute to talk?
I've got my work, I've got success. I've got my little printing press. I've got Paul Richards' almanac to publish too. My maxims flow, the word is right. I've got my string, I've got my kite. I'm sorry, but I've simply got a million things to do. Little strokes fell great oaks. Hey, that's good. Hey, that's good. I'm a walking book of famous quotes. I hope somebody here is taking notes. My Franklin stove is really hot. I hope my fire department's not. As postmaster, I've got to see the mail gets through. What's lightning like? What could it be? I know someday I'll find the key. I'm sorry, but I've simply got a million things to do. God helps some that help themselves. Early to bed, early to rise, makes a man healthy, wealthy, and wise. Vessels large may venture more, but little boats should keep near shore. Hey, that's good. Hey, that's good. You can't think of times to stop and chat. When I keep coming up with things like that, so off I go with something new. We whiz kids have so much to do. I'm sorry, but I've simply got a million things to do. I'm sorry, but I've simply got a million things to do.
I'll tell you why we British are fighting the French in this French and Indian War. It's over religion.
No, I'm telling you, it's simply over control of the fur trade.
You're both wrong.
We won't land, the French won't land. Something's gotta give.
It's religion.
It's trading rights. It's a fight for power.
Wait, maybe we're all right, but I know why we're really fighting.
Why?
It's because we're British and that how do you say it? French.
Yeah, that's it. They wear hardly anything on our fine beaches. Yeah, right. They eat things like goose liver, snails, and quiches.
Right.
They jump in our kitchens and think they are the bosses. They smear all our They don't understand what we're trying to say.
Yeah, right.
We order soft-boiled and they bring us souffle.
That's it. Yeah.
We tell them it's casual, but they still wear ties. We serve them some chips and they ask for French fries. Rude! The French have got to go. Come on, it's Westward Ho. The French have got to go. Come on, it's Westward Ho. There's just one thing we can do. We must fight and fight with you. You can bet your shampoo. The French have got to go. The French have got to go.
Things are getting exciting now. We're in Boston in 1773.
Hold it, right there.
The history police again.
You're a troublemaker, aren't you, Mr. Washington?
Having a little fun with the French and Indian War, Wary.
Well, history is not about fun, Mr. Washington. No, siree.
No, sirree. Where's the facts, the dates, the family tree?
You've got to explain things. Tell the audience that after the French were defeated in the war, the British and the colonists were left to struggle for control of the land.
Control of the land, Mr. Washington. We're not going to warn you again.
Yes, well, here we are again. In Boston, a cold night in December in 1773. The colonists are not happy with the British rule. Go, get your Pepsi right here. Pepsi, Pepsi Cola, ice cold Pepsi right here.
I'll take one of those.
Say, are you serious about it?
This is my cousin John Adams, his wife Abigail, and she's little John Quincy Adams.
So you're the Adams family.
Yes.
Then where's Uncle Fester? Excuse me? Since when did upper coast colonists like yourselves start drinking sodas and stop drinking tea?
Since the Parliament back in England protected all imported tea,
special moment, Martha. Longfellow's trying to write an epic poem about Sybil. Oh, the All right, that's it. What did I do now?
What did you do? Why, you skipped the whole beginning of the Revolutionary War.
Here we are, in the middle of the colonist fight for freedom. You can't just start in the middle.
Where to narrative sense? The beginning, then the middle, then the end.
And now, in 1777, you've got little-known Revolutionary War hero one, Sybil Ludington, talking to the famous American poet Longfellow.
And he wasn't even born until 30 years later. Book 'em, Dano.
But it's dramatic license!
We're revoking
That license, mister! The Longfellow's right there, talking to Sybil Ludington.
Listen, my children, and you shall learn a ton of the midnight ride of Sybil Ludington. I don't know Sybil, doesn't suit me.
But I deserve a little recognition, Hank. I did everything Paul Revere did.
I know, but your name just doesn't flow. Besides, Paul Revere went on his famous right.
But that was in Massachusetts. I rode to warn the militia in New York. Think of how much more dangerous that could be.
Okay, how about, listen, my children, and you shall learn a ton. Know the one of the midnight ride of Sybil Ludington. No, that's it.
But shouldn't people know about me, too?
Of course, but your name just doesn't rhyme with anything. Think of Revere, there's so many possibilities. Year, clear, career, hemisphere,
But I was just a girl. That's something, isn't it?
volunteer, wood veneer.
Oh, I'll never be famous. George Washington, general, first president, father of the country, etc., had a small part in it all. But the colonists were ready to fight for freedom. Right,
It's our Revolutionary War. It's independence we're fighting for. We got tired of mad King George's reign. We got common sense. sense from Thomas Paine. It's our Revolutionary War. It's Washington, Camden, Valley Forge. It's a boat across the Delaware. It's a Nathan Hale of gunfight there. Life, liberty, and the pursuit of happiness. That's why we want to throw out the crown. Life, liberty, and the pursuit of happiness. Thomas Jefferson wrote it all down. It's our Revolutionary War. When Benedict Arnold falsely swore. We got Betsy Ross and Lafayette. And a French blockade we won't forget. Life, liberty, and the pursuit of happiness. That's why we want to throw out the crown. Life, liberty, and the pursuit of happiness. Thomas Jefferson wrote it all down. It's our Revolutionary War. It's independence we're fighting for. We got tired of Mad King George's reign. We got common sense from Thomas Paine.
Well, it's all over and I've been elected. Well, it's all over and I've been elected the country's first president. And my first act was to arrest these two history police for being a public nuisance.
I regret that I have but one life to give for my country.
Well, the president isn't going to execute us.
He isn't?
No.
I knew that.
Constitution, this country would get off to a flying start. Let's end our review of the 13 colonies with a chat with James Madison, the man behind the Constitution.
You know, I thought the Constitution was perfect, but I've got to admit this Bill of Rights adds just the right touch. So come on, George, Martha, let's do it.
Do what?
Let's boogie with the Bill of Rights.
We got freedom of religion. We can choose how we pray. We got freedom of assembly, so assemble away. Not trial by a jury. Got to do it in a hurry. Come on. Boogie with the Bill of Rights. It's the Bill of Rights, so it can't be wrong. We will amend to 10 and then dance along.
Lake, it's Morningside that's the best audience in the world. So thank you so much for coming. We hope you enjoyed our play, and we'll see you next year.